Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on the Flash movie, and wow, there's some stuff to go over. So over the past few days, there has been a lot of Flash movie talk. Some of that coming from the confirmation that the Flash movie, set for release in 2022, would have a presence at the DC Fandom event, which was announced last week, when initially it was only reported that the Flash TV show would be there, so there was a bit of confusion. Now, I sort of held back on some news that came out a few days ago from when this video goes up, as I had been told that the information was a bit fishy, is probably a good word to use, in regards to whether it was still relevant or not at this current time, and it seems in regards to that information, which regarded Thomas Wayne being in the Flash movie, it was small scoopers trying to nab a big exclusive without fact checking, or at least digging deeper. It's hard to tell in regards to the situation. Don't want to dive too deep into it. But anyway, on some more positive stuff. Yesterday, from when this video goes up at least, we had some major news from somewhat more reliable sources, which once again, I held off on doing a video on it straight away, leave it till today, as it was just, as we usually get, squabbling and arguing amongst people online as to what was actually happening, who was right, who was wrong, who was in the middle. So I waited until the major trades in Hollywood confirmed what was going on, and that is what happened, so we can actually talk about it now. Thank the Lord, from the Speed Force. But of course, throughout the video, let me know your various opinions about this. I'm sure there's going to be differing. Just let me know your initial reactions, everything like that in the comment section down below to this news. Intrigued to see what you guys have to say and any theories you have going into it. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and this news excites you, want to drop a like on it, show your support. So it has been reported initially by The Wrap, but later confirmed by bigger trades like Deadline and The Hollywood Reporter, that Michael Keaton, who of course played Bruce Wayne aka Batman in the 1989 film, as well as its sequel, Batman Returns in 1992, that he's in talks to reprise, that's an important word, reprise his role for the upcoming Flash solo film. But let's actually go over The Wrap's report, which has an added piece from The Hollywood Reporter at the end as well. After nearly 30 years, Michael Keaton is in talks to return to the role of Batman, to appear alongside Ezra Miller in Warner Brothers' upcoming movie, The Flash. The Wrap has learned exclusively. Talks with Keaton are in the very early stages. It is far from a sure thing and can go either way. No details are currently available about how big or small Keaton's role is. The plot will introduce general audiences to the idea of the multiverse, one of the core concepts underpinning DC Comics. For the non-fanboy set, the multiverse refers to a shifting number of alternate universes that coexist within the larger reality depicted in DC Comics. Obviously, if you watch the Arrowverse, you should already know this. Originally created to explain various contradictory changes the company's characters experienced over decades, it allows several different versions of the same characters to simultaneously exist and occasionally interact. Matt Reeves' upcoming The Batman will not be affected, and Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne is still viewed as the future of the franchise. Now, it was added, by the way, which is in this report, that actually exists outside of the general continuity. So there's going to be a trilogy just set by itself, and then maybe later down the track when that trilogy ends, they could bring it into the fold. But for that trilogy, it's going to be completely separate. Anyway, Keaton last played Batman in 1992's Batman Returns, but quit the role during development of a third film after Burton was pushed out as director and replaced with Joe Schumacher, who unfortunately passed away yesterday as well, so RIP, who took this series in a campier direction with 1995's Batman Forever and its follow-up Batman and Robin. But The Flash will disregard the latter two entries entirely and explore what Keaton's version of Batman has been up to since we last saw him. Loosely based on the 2011 DC Comics crossover event, Flashpoint, previously announced as the film's title at Comic-Con 2017, the story sees Ezra Miller's Barry Allen travel back in time to prevent the death of his mother. The result? Allen inadvertently creates another universe protected by Michael Keaton's Batman, now 30 years older. But here's the addition to that was made by The Hollywood Reporter. But to add to all of this, if a deal is made, Keaton wouldn't just return for The Flash, but possibly for several other DC-oriented film projects. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the role being envisioned for the veteran actor is akin to the role played by Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, something of a mentor or guide or even string puller. Batgirl is one of the projects in development that could fall into that category. So what was my initial reaction to this? It was like, wow, I can't believe that. And just to be completely honest and, transparent, I had heard about an hour and a half before the news came out that Michael Keaton was attached to something Flash related. And my mind it just went away from the Flash movie completely. My mind was just on him playing Jay Garrick in the Black Adam movie. That's what I thought it was. Because I was like, he's older. If they're going to cast him in some sort of role, who's an older character he can be? And I was thinking Jay Garrick. And that's what I thought the news was going to be. And then it drops and he's playing Batman in the Flash. I was like, oh, okay. I was thinking of the wrong movie and the completely wrong character. So yeah, that's my initial reaction was pretty surprised because I was just sort of set on Jay Garrick. Now, I guess the big thing that comes from this, and I think a lot of people are going to be talking about it, is will it work? And I think for general audiences, I think they would love it. Like, just for example, I told my mum about this, and I said it wasn't confirmed, but it's like, yeah, he's in talks to come back. And she was like, sign me up. She loves Michael Keaton and loves him in the Batman. Like, the only superhero movies she really likes are his Batman movies and Wonder Woman. So, like, for general audiences, especially older ones, especially like your parents and stuff like that, I think they'd be stoked to have Michael Keaton back as Batman, even if he is older. In regards to him being in that Nick Fury type role, I think that works, and the only reason I think it works is because we have the Robert Pattinson trilogy. I think if there wasn't any Batman movies said to come out, it would be an issue because people were like, well, hold on, we want Batman around kicking ass, being that Batman a lot of people expect. But because we have that Robert Pattinson Batman trilogy out there, in its own universe, it deals with its own characters, and Batman's one of those characters, along with like Spider-Man, maybe Superman, and I guess even the Flash, that can exist in their own thing and deal with their own characters. They don't really have to be in a universe. So Batman can go off and do his own thing and be his own universe, and it's fine. So I think if the Robert Pattinson movies weren't there, this would be a major issue, but because we're going to be getting that cool Batman stuff anyway, we can actually have this older Batman being a mentor and, to younger characters like the Flash, like Batgirl that's there. And it's an important thing to remember, Christina Hodson, who's writing the Flash movie, is actually writing Batgirl. She's said to write Batgirl as well, so there's like a bit of a, there's a connection there. Another question is, should they have gone with Thomas Wayne? I could see, to be more true to Flashpoint, you could say, but it seems like they're doing multiverse stuff anyway here, so it's going off Flashpoint, going off the generic Flashpoint story anyway. And look, some people don't really like Flashpoint either. I like Flashpoint, so I'm sort of in the middle. Like, I wouldn't mind Thomas Wayne. However, I do love Michael Keaton Batman. I just had that personal connection with it. It was the first superhero movie I remember watching, the Batman 1989. So I love the fact that he's potentially going to be coming back. So I'm actually sort of sweet with this. I actually sort of prefer it more just because I have that personal connection. But I can completely understand if someone was like, screw that, I want Thomas Wayne. The big thing is that it seems that if they were doing Thomas Wayne, it had Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the role, who played Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman for like a couple of minutes, or even just a minute. Him not being there and sort of scrapping it sort of means that they're getting further and further away from the Snyder portion of the DCEU or the DC movies. And it seems that they are going to completely be moving away from that, which I think is going to anger that fan base. And even if you're fully Snyder or just half in, you might be angered about that. And it seems that they might be treating the Snyder Cut as almost like a closure point, almost, and there won't be anything post that. Obviously, characters will exist outside of that. Obviously, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, their characters, Henry Cavill most likely, various things like that. But it will be a cutting off point for a decent amount of stuff. One of those things being what Snyder envisioned in certain castings he made and stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see what happens there. But one thing that I think this sort of actually confirms now, without even the fact that they haven't even announced it, but I think we all know it's actually going to happen, is the Grant Gustin cameo. I think the fact that they've actually said there's going to be interdimensional travel, which means pretty much multiverse travel and various things like that, I think it's pretty much confirmed. I know you might be saying, Pagey, you're jumping the gun there. There's no way I think they'd put Ezra Miller in the DC TV Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. There wasn't going to be sort of payoff on the other end. And I think this pretty much says it. And also, I tweeted this out. I'll try and put the tweet up on screen if I remember to. The Flash Season 8, which it will. Flash will get probably a contract extension, maybe up to Season 9, but definitely at least to Season 8. Season 8 of The Flash, if it has a normal season, would end towards the end of May. The Flash movie, the end of May 2022, might I say. And the Flash movie is set to come out on June 3rd, 2022. So they're only a week and a half, 2 weeks or something apart from each other. Could there be setup in the Flash finale for Season 8, which could potentially be a series finale? Who knows? Which leads into maybe him appearing in the Flashpoint movie in some way, shape or form. Potentially. Is it a coincidence? I think not. But yeah, I'm excited. The Flash movie has always been one of my top movies, but the more and more I hear about it, it keeps jumping up there. I'm obviously a big Flash fan anyway, But I think just it sounds so cool what they're doing here, and I think it could actually be cooler than the initial Flashpoint thing. Anyway, it is going to be interesting if they still have like people like Cyborg in the movie, who was reported initially. He was like in the ones from like the end of last year, sometime like November or something like that, in the casting reports. And it's hard to tell if he's still in there, especially if they're doing this thing where he goes into with a Michael Keaton Batman, whether it's actually into that Tim Burton universe or elsewhere. We'll have to wait and see what they're, unless they use Cyborg at the beginning of the movie. So Cyborg's there with Barry at the beginning of the movie, and he's there for like 20 minutes, and then Barry travels back in time and creates this new reality. Maybe that's where Cyborg will be, so he'll be like a small supporting role. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I can't wait to see what they do with this. I know people still have their opinions about Ezra Miller. I don't think he's going to get replaced, so I think if you're hoping for that, I'd probably drop it, because I just don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, I'm just excited. It's still 2 years away, or just under 2 years away from now, but can't wait for it. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over. Are you excited for this? Do you still have your reservations? Do you completely hate the idea? Let me know. Be honest. I just want to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.